Any of you who follow me will know that I love a bit of 3D scanning, and I've got a new 3D scanner to show you today, and that's the Revopoint MetroX. This is a bit different to the other 3D scanners I've reviewed. This one uses laser lines to scan. Comes in this very nice case, and under the foam in the lid there's some extra marker dots and also a calibration board, really nice quality glass one. So if you need to recalibrate, very simple to do. All very nicely packed. Dual axis turntable. You can actually link this to your laptop or computer and program it. And here's the 3D scanner itself. Very nice design, very nice to hold. Feels good in the hand. Now this can either be handheld or tripod mounted. It comes with this cradle for if you put it on a tripod. Underneath that there is a little tripod. And then there's all the connecting leads, the power lead, power brick, and the lead that attaches it to your PC. That's the plug for the turntable. That's all. Oh, and that is the USB-C adapter, which is good for me because I've got a MacBook. And also the Revopoint bust. This is an easy first scan if you want to experiment. The other thing they sent me was the marker block kit. Because to get the most out of this scanner you will need to use markers if you want to scan black and shiny objects. These markers are very, very nice quality. You get these rods that can be screwed onto the turntable, and all the markers are magnetic. They've all got the reflective marker dots on them. You've got three different shapes and lots of them, and it does save with certain scanning to use these. It saves you having to stick all the little sticky dots onto whatever you're scanning. So you can surround the object with these and it just makes it easier to do a marker scan. But very, very nice. Very nice quality. As you can see, there are quite a few of them. First scan, my favourite scanning subject for smaller items is this badger skull. Highly detailed, and here I'm using the turntable mode. What happens is the turntable turns in increments, and it'll scan a bit, turn a bit more, scan a bit, and piece all these scans together. But you can see here it then tilts once it's done a full rotation, and it'll rotate again and do another set of scans, and then it will tilt the other way. And you can program this for different tilt angles and different numbers of revolutions. It's very clever. I've obviously edited a lot of this out. It does take quite a while doing the marker scanning, but it does remove a lot of variables and you get very nice scans. So here we are, looking at RevoScan MetroX software, and we're starting to do the scan. And it just advances slowly, frame by frame. You can see these little symbols, mountain symbols, appearing on the screen. They represent each capture. So the longer it goes on, the more of these appear. I've sped this up and edited lots of bits out just to make it a bit less tedious to watch. You can see there's lots of these little capture squares appearing. And it gradually builds up a picture. When it's green, you know it's good. So it's just coming to the end here. And there it is. This is in the sort of raw state, point cloud. I did do colour scanning with this. This is in full field scan turntable mode. And I've now turned the skull over and I'm scanning the underside. And I scanned this, I think I did it at a couple of different angles in the end. But once again it's advancing slowly round. And the magic of editing, there it is, the finished scan. As I say, I did a full colour or texture scan, but usually I don't. I'm only really interested in the 3D model. Here I'm doing the fusion of the point cloud. I should have moved that little slider, the point distance slider, right to the left for this, but I didn't in this instance. And you'll see with the scan I achieved, you lose a little bit of detail by not doing that. So I'm now applying the same fusion to the other scan. And there it is. I'm aiming to combine the upper and lower scans. Just using the crop tool here, which is very easy to use. I like this straight line or polygonal one. It's very good for removing bases and things. Extra little bit, just needs cropping off there. So we'll get rid of that. Do the same with the other half of the scan, or the upside down one. Just getting rid of those bits there because they had blue tack on them just to stop it moving. We're in merge now, so we're going to preview the alignment. We've selected the two scans and that is perfect. You can tell that's a very good merge because you can see how sort of finely distributed the dots are with the purple and the yellow. If you have big blocks of colour on one side and the other colour on the other side, you know they've not aligned very well. Anyway, create the model once you've combined the two scans. Doing a bit of overlap detection here because obviously when you combine two scans you are going to have quite a lot of overlapping points. So we just get rid of those. And then we're going to do a mesh. And with this I should have moved the sliders again to capture more detail. If you're doing small detailed objects, go for the maximum settings and certainly don't use the one-click processing. But this is a really nice scan. It has come out really well, but you can see it's just lost a bit of detail, and this was my fault in the processing stage. Here I'm scanning it again, but this time I think this was with the cross lines by the looks of it. This is using the laser scanning. And you have to make sure you're picking up enough of the markers around it as you scan it, so it maintains tracking. But you need to practice this. I found that the more I used it, the better I got at doing this. This is what it looks like in Revopoint MetroX software. And you have to keep passing over it until you capture more and more. And when it goes green, you know it's good. You know you've got everything you need. Just speeding it up a bit here. It tells you when there's not enough markers. As I say, with practice you get really good at this, and it's quite quick, but you just build up and build up the point cloud until you've got that nice green appearance. And there it is. I then decided I was going to try and get a more detailed scan. I sort of analysed what I was doing. So I started off scanning just the lower jaw, so we capture all that inside detail as well. And then I scanned the upper part of the skull. And I scanned these from several different angles and orientations, and I'm using a manual turntable here. So there you are. There's all the different scans, just having a look at those. Then we're into merge. Now I'm doing something I don't usually do here, and I'm actually merging all 7 scans at once. Usually this will throw up an error and you're best to do them in pairs or threes and then combine those. But it worked first go, and look at that, beautifully aligned with this fine mottling of all the colours, so it shows it's a really good alignment. And then we're going to generate the model. And there it is, and you can already see there's more detail there. So now we're doing a bit of overlap detection, just getting rid of unwanted points. And then we're doing a mesh on the highest quality. When I did the fusion, I did it on the highest setting as well, the fusion of each of the scans. And there it is, and that is a really, really good result. It's so detailed, really lovely scan. I was so pleased with it. Just doing a bit of hole filling here, select all, then you process it, and that fills in all the holes. Very, very impressive scan. I then had this little bird skull, and we're connecting up the turntable. I've selected the dual axis turntable and connected it. That's the rotational settings. And I scanned this in several different ways, experimenting. And that's the MetroX on a little tripod with the skull. A little bit of blue tack under the skull just to stop it sliding off the turntable when it tilts. This is speeded up here just to show the incremental process. But it just really works very well. This is the full field scan, not the laser lines. Upside down, scan it again, bit of blue tack under it. You can edit out the blue tack in post-processing, but there it is, really nice. I've done a few mergers by this point. Doing another merge here. I think I might have rescanned at this point, I've lost track. But anyway, you can see it's merging the top and the bottom half. Created the model. Just getting rid of a few of these anomalies which you sometimes get on these smaller objects. You got to remember this is a very small thing I'm scanning here. But it came out really well. And I maximised all the settings for detail on this. For certain models though, obviously you're going to end up with rather large files if you max out all the settings. Bit of hole filling. Now, for something this scanner is really good at. These are my Hakes Commander boots, black and shiny, This is my homemade turntable covered with marker dots, and this is just a manual turntable. There's the marker dots I used, and I put dots all over the boot. Now an object like this a lot of scanners would really struggle with, because it's black, and it is very black, and parts of it are quite shiny. So I'm doing the parallel lines laser scanning here, and that was what I ended up with. All lovely and green, showing a good result. There's a few anomalies there, but you can get rid of those using the isolation tool. But that came out really well. I remember to record the scanning this time when I did the sole of the boot. More markers on the sole. And you just scan it until it all goes green. Speeding this up a bit. There we go. I'm going to crop some of the upper off, because I'm only interested in the sole. I got a good scan of the upper. So we'll get rid of that. Then we're going to go into merge. I'm going to select the upper and the lower. Preview the alignment. There we go. Really nice alignment on that. So then we can generate the model once we're happy with the alignment. And there it is. You can fill in all the holes left by the marker dots. I'm meshing it on quite high quality, so this produced quite a big file. But amazing, amazing quality scan for something that is really difficult. I'm just filling in those holes. I will need to smooth out some of the little blips on the surface left by the marker dot stickers, but that's quite easy with a bit of practice. And there is a new smoothing tool in RevoScan, so you can do a little bit of it within RevoScan. Just for comparison, I did also scan the boot using full field mode without the markers on it. So this is without the laser lines, and this was the result I got. Lots of missing bits because of the black nature of the boot. The scanner didn't like to pick it up, and also I had a lot of trouble with tracking. As you move around the boot, it would lose tracking quite frequently, which is what I would expect. That's why this scanner has the marker mode and the markers and the laser scanning. It is for this sort of surface. It will pick up black and shiny stuff very, very well. As you can see, the bits it did catch, it gets in quite a lot of detail. This is the MetroX 3D scanner from Revopoint. I've had this several months now, and so I've really put it through its paces. And it's one of these bits of kit that the longer I've had it and the more I've used it, the more I've loved it. It is such a capable scanner. The accuracy it produces is quite incredible. If you've done several scans of an object and then align them in post, they all align perfectly because of the accuracy. The detail is amazing. It's almost as good as the Mini 2 from Revopoint, which is a small object scanner for highly detailed things. Well, this is almost there. You know, it's almost as detailed, I would say. The tracking on it is brilliant because of the working distance. It is really, really good at tracking. The software is very, very good. You know, you've got the limitations, as you do with all 3D scanners, in that the different scanners are only suitable for certain size objects, and this one you will need it tethered to a laptop or a computer to use it. And while we're on the subject of computers, you will need quite a fast, powerful one. Not massively powerful, but sort of more powerful than your average laptop. So you need to check the specifications on the Revopoint website before purchasing one of these. Just make sure your computer is up to running it. They give you all the parameters you need on there. But it's really, really good. As I say, the more I've used it, the more impressed with it I've become. I really like the packaging of it as well. I love the case it comes in, and I love the turntable that can tilt. The dual axis turntable is fantastic, and the turntable mode within the RevoScan software, very clever. Cuts out a lot of variables. Takes a little bit of time to do a scan, but you know it's going to come out right. Very clever. But there we go. Many thanks for watching. Thanks to Revopoint for sending me this. And I'll be back soon with some more videos. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so. It all helps me out. And don't forget to check out the links in the description. There will be some affiliate links there if you wish to purchase a Revopoint MetroX. It all helps support my channel. Thanks again for watching. Back soon.